Om Shanti. So we'll begin with a 5-minute meditation and then we'll start with our session. So just sit back and relax, play some meditation music. Thank you.
Om Shanti Om Shanti मैं आत्मा शांति स्वरूप हूँ I am peaceful soul Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti मैं आत्मा सुख स्वरूप हूँ I am happy soul Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti मैं आत्मा प्रेम स्वरूप हूँ I am loveful soul Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti मैं आत्मा शक्ति स्वरूप हूँ I am powerful soul Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti मैं आत्मा पवित्र स्वरूप हूँ I am pure soul Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti Om Shanti मैं आत्मा आनंद रूप हूँ I
Om Shanti. Am I audible? Okay, all right. So today we'll start with page number 72. And we'll start with the paragraph from waiting as a state of mind. Give up waiting as a state of mind. So the author is saying, when you catch yourself slipping into waiting, snap out of it. Come into the present moment. Just be and enjoy being. If you're present, there is never any need for you to wait for anything. So next time somebody says, sorry to have kept you waiting, you can reply, that's all right. I wasn't waiting. I was just standing here enjoying myself. Enjoy in myself. These are just a few of the habitual mind strategies for denying the present moment that are part of ordinary unconsciousness. They are easy to overlook because they are so much a part of normal living, the background static of perpetual discontent. But the more you practice monitoring your inner mental emotional state, the easier it will be to know when you have been trapped in past or future, which is to say unconscious, and to awaken out of the dream of time into the present. But beware, the false unhappy self based on mind identification lives on time. It knows that the present moment is its own death and so feels very threatened by it. It will do all it can to take you out of it. It will try to keep you trapped in time. So the next heading is the inner purpose of your life's journey. I can see the truth of what you're saying, but I still think that we must have purpose on our life's journey. Otherwise, we just drift, and purpose means future, doesn't it? How do we reconcile that with living in the present? When you are on a journey, it is certainly helpful to know where you are going, or at least the general direction in which you are moving. But don't forget, the only thing that is ultimately real about your journey is the step that you are taking at this moment. That's all there ever is. Your journey has an outer purpose and an inner purpose. The outer purpose is to arrive at your goal or destination, to accomplish what you set out to do, to achieve this or that, which of course implies future. But if your destination or the steps you're going to take in the future take up so much of your attention that they become more important to you than the step you are taking now, then you completely miss the journey's inner purpose, which has nothing to do with where you are going or what you are doing, but everything to do with how. So, this is something we need to think about, that it's not where you're going or what you're doing, but everything to do with how. This is quite important and profound, the author is saying. It has nothing to do with future, but everything to do with the quality of your consciousness at this moment. The outer purpose belongs to the horizontal dimension of space and time. The inner purpose concerns a deepening of your being in the vertical dimension of the timeless now. Your outer journey may contain a million steps. Your inner journey only has one, the step you are taking right now. As you become more deeply aware of this one step, you realize that it already contains within itself all the other steps as well as the destination. This one step then becomes transformed into an expression of perfection, an act of great beauty and quality. It will have taken you into being, and the light of being will shine through it. This is both the purpose and the fulfillment of your inner journey. the journey into yourself. So we usually look at our outer purpose. We don't really think about our inner purpose, which is more important and to be in the present. Does it matter whether we achieve our outer purpose, whether we succeed or fail in the world? It will matter to you as long as you haven't realized your inner purpose. After that, the outer purpose is just a game that you may continue to play simply because you enjoy it. It is also possible to fail completely in your outer purpose and at the same time totally succeed in your inner purpose. So, this I think we should all underline because it's so profound that it's so important that we stay within our inner purpose and outside it's everything is just temporary. So that's very important, this line. Or the other way round, which is actually more common, outer riches and inner poverty, or to gain the world and lose your soul, as Jesus puts it. Ultimately, of course, every outer purpose is doomed to fail sooner or later, simply because it is subject to the law of impermanence of all things. So, in the outer world, nothing is permanent, it's just going to keep changing. So, it's very important that we are aligned with our inner purpose. The sooner you realize that your outer purpose cannot give you lasting fulfillment, the better. When you have seen the limitations of your outer purpose, you give up your unrealistic expectation that it should make you happy and you make it subservient to your inner purpose. The past cannot survive in your presence. You mentioned that thinking or talking about the past unnecessarily is one of the ways in which we avoid the present. But apart from the past that we remember and perhaps identify with, isn't there another level of past within us that is much more deep seated? I'm talking about the unconscious past that conditions our lives, especially through early childhood experiences, perhaps even past life experiences. And then there is our cultural conditioning, which has to do with where we live geographically and the historical time period in which we live. All these things determine how we see the world, how we react, what we think, what kind of relationships we have, how we live our lives. How could we ever become conscious of all that or get rid of it? How long would that take? And even if we did, what would there be left? So the author here is referring to our sanskars that we carry from our previous births, from our family, from our environment. And of course, then we have our eternal sanskars, which is peace, purity, love, happiness. So here the author is referring to that. So, what is left when illusion ends? There is no need to investigate the unconscious past in you except as it manifests at this moment as a thought, an emotion, a desire, a reaction, or an external event that happens to you. Whatever you need to know about the unconscious past in you, the challenges of the present will bring it out. So, what does this suggest? It suggests that it's our own karmic account that comes across, which is, we meet different people, we have different relationships at different times in different costumes, and that's what we have to interact with souls. So it depends on the previous karmic account that we have to deal with the challenges that we face today. So if you delve into the past, it will become a bottomless pit. There is always more. You may think you need more time to understand the past or become free of it. And you need more, in other words, that the future will eventually free you of the past. This is a delusion. Only the present can free you of the past. More time cannot free you of time. Access the power of now. That is the key. So, what is the power of now? none other than the power of your presence, your consciousness, liberated from thought forms. So deal with the past on the level of the present. The more attention you give to the past, the more you energize it, and the more likely you are to make a self out of it. Don't misunderstand, attention is essential, but not to the past as past. Give attention to the present. Give attention to your behavior, to your reactions, moods, thoughts, emotions, fears, and desires as they occur in the present. There's the past in you. If you can be present enough to watch all those things not critically or analytically, but non judgmentally, then you're dealing with the past and dissolving it through the power of your presence. You cannot find yourself by going into the past. You find yourself by coming into the present. Isn't it helpful to understand the past and so understanding we do certain things, react in certain ways, or why we unconsciously create our particular kind of drama, patterns in relationships, and so on? As you become more conscious of your present reality, you may suddenly get certain insights as to why your conditioning functions in those particular ways. For example, why your relationships follow certain patterns, and you may remember things that happened in the past or see them more clearly. That is fine and can be helpful, but it is not essential. What is essential is your conscious presence. That dissolves the past. That is the transformative agent. So don't seek to understand the past, but be as present as you can. The past cannot survive in your presence. It can only survive in your absence. So the author has explained so beautifully that we don't need to start dwelling in what happened in our past, just focused on the present, in the present. So now we'll move on to the next chapter, which is chapter 5, the state of presence. It's not what you think it is. You keep talking about the state of presence as the key. I think I understand it intellectually, but I don't know if I have ever truly experienced it. I wonder, is it what I think it is, or is it something entirely different? It's not what you think it is. You can't think about presence, and the mind can't understand it. Understanding presence is being present. Try a little experiment. Close your eyes and say to yourself, I wonder what my next thought is going to be. Then become very alert and wait for the next thought. Be like a cat watching a mouse hole. What thought is going to come out of the mouse hole? Try it now. Well, I had to wait for quite a long time before a thought came in. Exactly. As long as you're in a state of intense presence, you are free of thought. You are still yet highly alert. The instant your conscious attention sinks below a certain level, thought rushes in. The mental noise returns, the stillness is lost, you are back in time. To test their degree of presence, some Zen masters have been known to creep up on their students from behind and suddenly hit them with a stick. Quite a shock. If the student had been fully present and in a state of alertness, if he had kept his loin girded and his lamp burning, which is one of the analogies that Jesus uses for presence, he would have noticed the master coming up from behind and stopped him or stepped aside. But if he were hit, that would mean he was immersed in thought, which is to say absent, unconscious. To stay present in everyday life, it helps to be deeply rooted within yourself. Otherwise, the mind, which has incredible momentum, will drag you along like a wild river. What do you mean by rooted within yourself? It means to inhabit your body fully, to always have some of your attention in the inner energy field of your body, to feel the body from within, so to speak. Body awareness keeps you present. It anchors you in the now. The historic meaning of waiting. In a sense, the state of presence could be compared to waiting. Jesus used the analogy of waiting in some of his parables. This is not the usual bored or restless kind of waiting that is a denial of the present and that I spoke about already. It is not a waiting in which your attention is focused on some point in the future and the present is perceived as an undesirable obstacle that prevents you from having what you want. There is a qualitatively different kind of waiting, one that requires your total alertness. Something could happen at any moment. If you're not absolutely awake, absolutely still, you will miss it. This is the kind of waiting Jesus talks about. In that state, all your attention is in the now. There is none left for daydreaming, thinking, remembering, anticipating. There is no tension in it, no fear, just alert presence. You're present with your whole being, with every cell of your body. In that state, the you that has a past and a future, the personality, if you like, is hardly there anymore. And yet, nothing of value is lost. You are essentially yourself. In fact, you are more fully yourself than you ever were before, or rather, it is only now that you are truly yourself. Be like a servant waiting for the return of the master, says Jesus. The servant does not know at what hour the master is going to come. So he stays awake, alert, poised, still, lest he miss the master's arrival. In another parable, Jesus speaks of the 5 careless, unconscious women. So the 5 careless women are actually the unconscious women who do not have enough oil, which is the consciousness, okay, to keep their lamps burning. And so the bridegroom and don't get to the wedding feast. So basically, through this, they're saying that the unconscious women do not have enough consciousness to stay in the present. So they miss the now and don't get the enlightenment. These 5 stand in contrast to the 5 wise women who have enough oil, who stay conscious. Even the men who wrote the Gospels did not understand the meaning of these parables. So the first misinterpretations and distortions crept in as they were written down. With subsequent erroneous interpretations, the real meaning was completely lost. These are parables not about the end of the world, but about the end of psychological time. They point to the transcendence of the egoic mind and the possibility of living in an entirely new state of consciousness. Beauty arises in the stillness of your presence. What have you just described is something that I occasionally experience for brief moments when I'm alone and surrounded by nature. Yes, Zen masters use the word satori to describe a flash of insight, a moment of no mind and total presence. Although satori is not a lasting transformation, be grateful when it comes, for it gives you a taste of enlightenment. You may indeed have experienced it many times without knowing what it is and realizing its importance. Presence is needed to become aware of the beauty, the majesty, the sacredness of nature. Have you ever gazed up into the infinity of space on a clear night, awestruck by the absolute stillness and inconceivable vastness of it? Have you listened, truly listened to the sound of a mountain stream in the forest, or to the song of a blackbird at dusk on a quiet summer evening? To become aware of such things, the mind needs to be still. You have to put down for a moment your personal baggage of problems, of past and future, as well as all your knowledge. Otherwise, you will see but not see, hear but not hear. Your total presence is required. Beyond the beauty of the external forms, there is more here, something that cannot be named, something ineffable, some deep inner holy essence. Whenever and wherever there is beauty, this inner essence shines through somehow. It only reveals itself to you when you are present. Could it be that this nameless essence and your presence are one and the same? Would it be there without your presence? Go deeply into it. Find out for yourself. So the author is writing so beautifully about the connection with the divine that only comes when we are completely in the present. So should I continue? I think I'll just finish off with this page. Okay, okay. When you've experienced those moments of presence, you likely didn't realize that you were briefly in a state of no mind. This is because the gap between the state and the influx of thought was too narrow. Your satori may only have lasted for a few seconds before the mind came in. But it was there. Otherwise, you would not have experienced the beauty. Mind can neither recognize nor create beauty. Only for a few seconds, while you are completely present, was that beauty or that sacredness there. Because of the narrowness of that gap and a lack of vigilance and alertness on your part, you were probably unable to see the fundamental difference between the perception, the thoughtless awareness of beauty, and the naming and interpreting of it as thought. The time gap was so small that it seemed to be a single process. The truth is, however, that the moment thought came in, all you had was a memory of it. The wider the time gap between perception and thought, the more depth there is to you as a human being, which is to say, the more conscious you are. Many people are so imprisoned in their minds that the beauty of nature does not really exist for them. They might say, "What a pretty flower." But that's just a mechanical mental labeling because they are not still, not present. They don't truly see the flower, don't feel its essence, its holiness, just as they don't know themselves, don't feel their own essence, their own holiness. Because we live in such a mind dominated culture, most modern art, architecture, music, and literature are devoid of beauty, of inner essence, with very few exceptions. The reason is that the people who create those things cannot even for a moment free themselves from their mind. So they are never in touch with that place within where true creativity and beauty arise. The mind, left to itself, creates monstrosities, and not only in art galleries. Look at our urban landscapes and industrial wastelands. No civilization has ever produced so much ugliness. Wow. Um, should I continue or the next paragraph is quite long? Okay, maybe I'll just finish with a bit more. Okay, okay, I will. Realizing pure consciousness. Is presence the same as being? When you become conscious of being, what is really happening is that being becomes conscious of itself. When being becomes conscious of itself, that's presence. Since being, consciousness, and lives are synonymous, we could say that presence means consciousness, becoming conscious of itself, or life attaining self consciousness. But don't get attached to the words and don't make an effort to understand this. There is nothing that you need to understand before you can become present. Um, so I think we'll continue with the rest tomorrow. Does anyone have any questions or would like to share something? Yeah. Okay. Does anyone want to share something out of what we've learned today? Or should I ask the questions that we've prepared? So have we shared the questions in the chat? I think the questions will cover up the 5 main points. Okay, so I can just ask the question. Yeah, here it is on the chat. So the first question is, what did you understand today about the relationship between our inner and outer purpose? What is the significance of our outer purpose? And how does it relate to our inner purpose? How can we align our inner and outer purpose? So who would like to answer? Okay, Samriddhi sister has raised her hand.
Hello everybody. I'm unable to turn on my camera.
Sister, you have muted yourself.
Yeah, I was saying that I'm unable to turn on the camera.
Oh yeah, you're here now.
Now, so, greetings of peace to everybody. First of all, it was such a great session. Thank you, Sister Anika, for being there for us today. And you read it so well. And
Thank you
it's
so
so
much.
fascinating in itself.
Thank you.
So, yeah, coming to the question, what I believe is inner purpose refers to our core being, our essence, and the state of consciousness we embody. It's about being present and connected to the now. And it's like what serves the humanity, the inner purpose, and which is
Mhm.
fulfilling to our soul. On the other hand, the outer purpose, look, this is what I have understood. The outer purpose is it is about the roles we play, the achievements, the relationships, the actions, and the contributions that we make to the world. It's about like what we do expect of life. And then I believe it is extremely important to align both of them, like the inner purpose and the outer purpose, because that creates a sense of fulfillment and a meaning. And like when our actions stem from our core belief and like from a core value system and presence, we find such a deeper connection and such a deeper satisfaction in our work and relationships. And alignment is something bringing awareness and like being in the present moment is the key. Focusing on the now, and we can choose the actions that reason with our inner being, leading to a more authentic and a fulfilling outer purpose. That is something we can have a balance between both the two things, and we can have alignment between the inner purpose and the outer purpose.
Yeah. Yeah, you explained really beautifully. Yeah, that is very true that we need to have an alignment within our inner purpose. And so our outer purpose as well will be more, we'll be able to express ourselves when we are aligned. So thank you so much, Samriddhi sister. Okay, Pankita ji is written being mindfulness. By mindfulness, we can align inner purpose and outer purpose. Yeah, that's true. Thank you. Anyone else would like to share what they feel? Um, no one? Okay, so should we go on to the next question? According to the author, only the present can free out of the past. What do you feel about this? Does the unconscious past in you prevent you from being in the present? Do you feel the need to investigate or understand the unconscious part in you? So, who would like to answer? Okay, Samriddhi sister has raised her hand.
So, hello.
Yeah.
So, what I believe is that is something that is very rightly said. The author said it very rightly that it is actually the line is completely true. From the author's point of view, he says that the present moment is the only reality we truly have. Holding on to the past through the constant cycles of thoughts and emotions keeps us trapped in the same cycle of negativity and prevents us from like experiencing the past to the present, experiencing the present to the
Yeah.
fullest. And it is our unconscious past, which can have a deep influence in our present moment through unprocessed emotions and limiting beliefs. However, dwelling on is not the solution. So, of course, there is a great need of investigation and self reflection. While focusing on self reflection, it is important to realize that shifting awareness is also important. If you're like just being self-aware, and if you have not like changed anything, I think that would bring even guilt. So it is extremely important to, of course, self-respect, self-reflect, but on the other hand, we should also bring our whatever we have self-reflected into action. Because this is what allows us to observe and release the unconscious, like the patterns, without getting actually trapped in the past grips. So that is the thing.
Yeah, thank you so much, sister. Thank you so much for sharing your views. Has someone else raised their hand as well?
Yes, Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Yes, I would like to share the answer for the first question and the second
Oh, thank you.
briefly.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, sure.
So, what about the inner and outer purpose? If we concentrate all our energy for the outer purpose without taking care of the inner purpose, that to be in the present, to be conscious, we will reach to a level that we will not have this fulfillment after we reach the outer purpose because of the law of the impermanence. So nothing will be permanent. So this thing that we achieved will not be permanent. The victory, the success in our relations, or everything. So we have to be knowing that all what we going to achieve is that this moment we are being here and being fully enjoying our life, feeling the happiness. So the happiness or the joy from this moment, and this we can later, yes, continue our life and be do whatever we want. So we will be like, we will not be concerned with the result of the action that we do. So it's very important this to be in the now, and to know our outer purpose and inner purpose at the same time. For the first question. And the second, we can't free ourselves from the past except we are in the present. So if we are like we have some problems and we okay, with time this pain will go. No, this pain will not go with time. It will go only when we are present. So the past will manifest itself in thoughts, in emotions that will happen. No need to go to the past. So why am I reacting like this? Why am I doing this in this way? It's not going to the past. It will manifest itself by itself. No need to go to the past. We only want to be in the present. And the writer said also that about with time you will have some memories of the past. You will know things, but that doesn't really matter. So what matter is that we are now in the present, and we are living this life, so we can be free from our past, because the past is holding sorrow for us in this world. So we want to be happy. We want to be a part of the positive energy of happiness in creating a new consciousness in the world. That is what the writer may mean. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, you explained so beautifully. Thank you so much, sister. We've got other hands raised as well. Vipin ji.
Yes, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible. Hanji.
Yes, video will not work. So audio only will be there.
No, that's fine. Please continue.
What I understood is I love past now because past is only the thing which make me to understand the present.
Okay.
So I am having a present for the past. So the first question is, the author, whatever the author is saying is exactly a right thing. Hello?
Yes, you're audible.
It's audible, no? No break.
Yes, you are. Hanji.
Yes, so even nowadays also, since I could not complete yesterday's reading and all, I'm a little worried about that. But the course is so much attractive that I should be in the present. So I am joining every day. So that is also the past only making me this present. Second thing is, yes, the past as well as the future preventing me to be in the present. So I really need to investigate, understand my unconscious part.
Yeah.
And today's actually your section was very beautiful, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Rajiv ji wants to say something.
Hello, am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, you're audible.
I joined right now, just 2 minutes before, but I read but I have studied that point. Actually, writer wants to say that, and nothing is permanent. Law of permanence is there, and normally we feeling pain or anything due to lack of matlab you do not try to understand those things, that uh, life is changeable and we do not accept it, and we jump from sometimes to past, or sometimes we plan for future and we didn't live in present. That's why missing those things. In the last, writer said we are missing permanent, we are missing now, which is the main problem, and we have to be conscious and aware and try to bring yourself in in present situation after pursuing your breathing and all those things.
Yes, that's very true. You want to share something
Thank
else?
you.
Thank you so much. So should we move on to the next question? Yeah. So do you feel you need to understand about being present before experiencing it? Have you experienced a state of intense presence where you are free of thought? So who would like to answer? Okay. Kiran's sister.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Sister, first of all, I'm thankful to you to giving me opportunity. Most of the time, mostly when I experience this, when I read about the Murli, most of the time when I read the fast reading. So in the fast reading, there is no thought, there is no past, and there is no future thinking most of the time. So when I started this speed reading, so by this speed reading, the way we understand it was increasing, and the past and future thinking was totally removed. So I think this is the best way. When I was thinking, it's very helpful for me.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you for sharing your views. Samriddhi, sister.
Yeah, hello. So I believe that is something really important because when you have the knowledge, that is only when you start actually experiencing it. Because we are so caught up in our lives that we rarely get a moment without, like, if you do not know about this, because before reading this book or before coming into the Gyan, the spirituality, I never even have given a thought of being in the present moment and all these things. Because I have been very like overachieving kind of goal. But after discovering this path, and especially after reading this book, I started making conscious efforts in order to be
Yeah.
in the present moment. And that is something which is just so enlightening, I would say. So yeah, I truly agree that you have to have the knowledge about it and then you would start experiencing it. And yes, I have felt moments of intense presence, or because the moments of intense presence happen very spontaneously. It's a sense of deep peace, joy, and aliveness. And I know it will be a little funny to know that, but the most recent moment I have of this intense presence is was when I was doing my dishes. The other day, Brother Hitesh was telling that if you actually in the present moment, you actually enjoy doing dishes. It itself is so fascinating. And it actually made sense to me so much. I was just doing it before joining the session. I was like, yeah, that's so true. If you're just in the present moment, you even enjoy doing your dishes.
Oh,
So
wow, that's wonderful. It's wonderful to know. Thank you so much, sister. Thank you. Anyone else would want to share something? No, no one else? Okay. So I think we're done for today's session then. Okay. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining in today. And it was a lovely experience. So we'll end the session with a beautiful song. Thank you. Om Shanti. Okay, we've got a hand raised. Rachna sister. Okay, 1 second.
Om Shanti, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible. Om Shanti.
Sister, actually, I raised my hand in the end because I wanted to ask, is there any way that you post the recordings of everyday class?
Yes, we do. We do. They're on YouTube as well, and we can post them in the group as well.
Which group is it? Because I got the link of this class from Angels of Shiva group. So is there another group in which the recordings are posted?
Yes, there is. I think Shalini sister can post it on the chat, please. There is a group. There's an English Readers Club group. So we'll definitely share the link with you.
Right, please.
Yeah, there it is. There it is. It's come on the chat.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. Okay, so we'll end this session with a beautiful song. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are they'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Oh.